Your evening news presented by Addition Financial Credit Union. Count us in.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. I'm Tammy Fields.
And I'm Greg Angel. Here are your top stories and weather in 90 seconds. City of Orlando is now picking up the lead in developing an eventual permanent Pulse memorial. Mayor Buddy Dyer told us the city will also take over the annual remembrance ceremony. It comes not long after the city purchased the Pulse site for $2 million and the One Pulse Foundation nonprofit shut down.
$200 million will be spent on improving water quality across Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis announced the funding today for 27 projects. That includes efforts in Volusia and Orange counties.
Any guess on the new name? Orlando Magic will announce tomorrow morning the new name of their home arena. Amway name is hung on the side of the center since it opened in 2010.
Right now, though, let's get a check of your Classroom 13 forecast to see how chilly the weather will be tonight. Oh, God. As the city of Orlando now prepares to take over efforts to develop a permanent memorial for victims of the Pulse nightclub shooting, the mayor is putting a timeline on that project.
Now, keep in mind, there is still not at this point a permanent memorial, and plans for a museum have been scrapped years after the attack, where 49 people were killed and 53 others were injured. The city's takeover of the project comes not long after the city finally purchased the club property itself for $2 million, and the nonprofit leading past efforts just dissolved.
Spectrum News 13's Jeff Allen spoke with the mayor today about the work he wants to see. The city is also gathering details from the One Pulse Foundation to take over and continue the Pulse annual remembrance ceremony and the community rainbow run. The city of Orlando also announced a new website has been created. It focuses on providing updates about the Pulse Memorial. The site includes the names of the 49 lost in the Pulse shooting. It also includes an area where you can sign up for updates as the city progresses towards the creation of the memorial. We have the link on our website, mynews13.com.
All right, let's take a look at how we got to this point over the last few months. One Pulse Foundation announced October 27th it would not go through with the museum project along Cayley Street. October 31st, Foundation's chairman, Earl Crittenden, resigned. Less than 2 weeks later, Executive Director Deborah Bowie resigned as well. November 20th, Orange County sent a letter to One Pulse accusing them of making unauthorized license agreements at the site. 2 days later, the board voted to dissolve. And we are covering all the angles of this ongoing story. For more details on how we ended up at this point, go to our website, mynews13.com. It's also available for you on the Spectrum News app.
Bunnell Elementary School is getting a new principal in 2024.
Flagler School Superintendent LaShaka Moore is recommending Carrie McGee to be appointed to fill the principal position.
Former principal Donnell Evanson resigned that position in September. That is following a school assembly that singled out black students for their academic performance. Now McGee has been the assistant principal at Bunnell Elementary since July of 2019, so she's a familiar face. Before that, she served as a school counselor for over a decade.
In a statement, Moore said that her selection was based on feedback from students, family, and teachers at Bunnell Elementary School, adding that McGee is well known and active in the community. McGee herself said that she is looking forward to the challenge and opportunity to lead the school.
Now, we spoke with a parent about all of this.
It's my understanding a lot of parents are looking forward to that. They want a principal who will be in their community, who is going to go out in the Montage area, going to visit the family. So I have no doubt that Ms. McGee will do all that.
Upon approval by the school board members at their meeting tonight, McGee will become the 40th principal of Bunnell Elementary School. Friends, family, and former co-workers honor the life and legacy of Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor today. She became the first woman on the nation's highest court in 1981. O'Connor was a moderate conservative who cast the deciding vote on scores of important cases. President Joe Biden spoke about her work during her funeral service.
Gracious and wise, civil and principled, Sandra Day O'Connor, the daughter of the American West, was a pioneer in her own right.
Justice O'Connor died earlier this month from Alzheimer's complications. She was 93 years old.
Salvation Army is not letting last month's fire at its Kissimmee location stop them from putting on its Angel Tree distribution. The goal of the event is to bring smiles to thousands of kids and seniors facing hardships during the holidays. Toys, bikes, clothes, toiletries, all of it donated through the Salvation Army and given to families. Nonprofit says more people are coming for help this year.
The need this year is a little bit different. These are people that have not needed the services of the Salvation Army before, but because of the prices that they're having to pay, they realize that their income is tight. They're trying to make ends meet, but they're not meeting, and so they have come to the Salvation Army for us to help them with Christmas.
Salvation Army partnered with Experience Kissimmee and Old Town to make all of this happen.
A place to call home just in time for the holidays.
The steps one mom is taking to get her kids a home right here in Central Florida. Their story as we continue.
Time right now, 6:11 here on a Tuesday. I'm Brian Carrick with Mallory Nichols. Beautiful sunset tonight, and hopefully you got some pictures of that sunset. Send them on in. You might see them right here on Spectrum News 13. Now the sun has gone below the horizon. Temperatures are starting to slide backward as we look back over Exploria Stadium, and Camping World also has the lights on tonight. Let's take a look at the numbers as we are now down close to the 40s. As a matter of fact, as I'm looking at the colors, might have some 40s now for temperatures in northwestern Marion County already, and 50s elsewhere, as we are still also containing a bit of a breeze, definitely a chill in the air. Temperatures, they have dropped anywhere between 4 and 9 degrees in just the past 24 hours. It's all courtesy of that weak front that dropped by us early this morning, actually brought with it just the reinforcing shot of cool, dry air we discussed last night. So overnight, what I'm going to go with is a clear to partly cloudy sky. We have a few clouds over toward the coast, and a north-northeast flow will bring a few more of those clouds in late tonight. Some high-level clouds will also begin streaming in from the west toward tomorrow morning. So it won't be a crystal clear blue sunrise. We will have some thin clouds scooting on in, and throughout the day, clouds coming in off the coast, mid-level clouds, and some high-level clouds coming in from the west coast, giving us more of a cloud-sun mix. At times that sun will disappear behind some clouds. I'm going to keep it dry, but let's throw in a sprinkle at the coast. There's just a very, very slim chance of a sprinkle at the coast. So clear to partly cloudy. Temperatures tonight, 30s Marion County, 40s elsewhere, 50s into Brevard County and southern Volusia County as we've got that onshore flow. Temperatures will start off chilly at the bus stop, then warm up into the upper 60s, close to 70. We'll go mid and upper 60s area wide, still below that average of 73. Mid 70s expected on your Saturday and Sunday, an isolated coastal shower Saturday, some scattered showers trying to develop on Christmas Eve, and we'll find out if that rain lingers into Christmas Day coming up in 10 minutes.
This holiday season, a Sanford woman says she is getting one of the greatest gifts of all. Soon, her family is making a new memory in a new home, all thanks to Habitat for Humanity.
Spectrum News 13's Destiny Wiggins shares why this means more than just a roof over their heads. The home is expected to be completed by spring of next year, with everyone being able to have their own room.
Young patients at Advent Health for Children received quite the surprise outside their windows. First responders from Orlando Fire and Police Departments and Orange County Fire Rescue dressed up as elves, and yeah, they rappelled down the sides of the hospital. Orlando Fire Chief Charlie Salazar says it is a great way to practice their skills, but really more importantly, it is about bringing smiles to these kids' faces.
During this time of year, it's really an opportunity for us to both work on our training, but also engage with them and make their day brighter. And so if they're sick in the hospital, we're here to make them happy.
And of course, can't forget about Santa and Mrs. Claus. They also stopped by a little early here for a magical cherry picker to wave to patients before they got to head back to the North Pole. They've got a busy couple days coming up.
Students at Bentley Elementary School had a special visitor. The Polar Express stopped by the Seminole County School today, where kindergartners and first graders were able to ride the train from their classroom to the North Pole. Students from all grades turned out to watch the celebration.
I'm excited to see the kindergartners and first graders just enjoying their time on the Polar Express.
Staff members led students through STEM activities as well. They did an egg drop, built a winter village, and constructed a tall shelf for an elf.
Being on the road is great, but coming home is better.
The performer is proud to give back to his community thanks to his admiration for Dean Martin.
Allison Walker goes on the town in Palm Bay, where the Art of the Variety show returns. Keep it here.
Spectrum News 13 is brought to you by Fields BMW. Happy holidays from our family to yours.
Here are your winning lottery numbers.
Definitely some sweater weather today. Temperatures running 10 to 15 degrees below average. But if you thought today was chilly, let's go back on this day in weather history. A statewide freeze occurred on the mornings between December 19th through the 21st. Now, this was way back in 1901, but check out Tallahassee and Gainesville dropping back into the teens, Ocala at 20, Orlando at 25, and crop damage was reported. Again, a statewide freeze between the mornings of December 19th through the 21st. 1901. We don't have to worry about that. Temperature-wise, below average for the next few days. Dry conditions for the most part. We do warm up, though, over the holiday weekend.
Space Coast entertainer that you see dancing right here, well, they're paying homage to Dean Martin and the Crooners' beloved Christmas special.
Our Allison Walker is going on the town in Palm Bay to meet the man behind this highly anticipated live event. You have 3 more chances to catch the Alfie Silva Christmas show at the Tangiers in Palm Bay. It is December 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Using a new store as a place to feel safe and to educate.
A business owner is ensuring her customers are aware of the threat of human trafficking and the resources available to those in need.
Your evening news presented by Addition Financial Credit Union. Count us in.
We're glad you're with us. I'm Greg Angel.
And I'm Tammy Fields. Here are your top stories and weather in 90 seconds. Bunnell Elementary School is getting a new principal in 2024. Flagler School Superintendent LaShaka Moore recommended Carrie McGee for the open position. She has been the assistant principal since July of 2019.
A Hillsborough County deputy will be able to spend the holidays at home with his family. Corporal Carlos Brito was released from a rehabilitation center. Investigators say he and another deputy were severely injured when a man intentionally drove their car into the deputies.
Hold on to your Solar Bears tickets. The team announced that Monday, March 18th is the makeup date for the match between the Bears and the Florida Everblades. They were supposed to face off on Sunday, but the game was postponed due to a power outage at Amway Center. Tickets already purchased will be honored on the new date.
All right, let's get a quick check of your Clash on 13 forecast.
Thank you, Tammy and Greg. Yes, a decent day overall, at least abundant sunshine, but temperatures worthy of a sweater today. Yes, we climbed into the mid and upper 50s and lower 60s. We had all kinds of sunshine. We've been watching a few clouds kind of scoot toward the coast as winds are out of the north-northeast, and we'll expect a clear to partly cloudy sky, clear inland, partly cloudy toward the coast. Tonight, low temperatures will be into the 40s with some 30s in Marion County. Your Wednesday, a mix of sun and clouds, and highs into the mid to upper 60s.
In the Middle East, the Hamas-run health ministry now says about 20,000 people have died in Gaza as part of this Hamas-Israel war.
Our Evan Kosloff of the Spectrum News Washington, D.C. Bureau reports about the growing concerns that this conflict is escalating into a regional conflict. Elevate Her Boutique is a store in downtown Sanford, not only selling handcrafted items from local artists, but they also try to raise awareness and educate about human trafficking. Spectrum News 13's Destiny Wiggins visited the store and shares with us how one survivor turned her pain into purpose. The boutique is open Thursday through Sunday. Their grand opening celebration, it is scheduled for January the 11th. That is National Human Trafficking Awareness Day.
New census data has given us a better idea of the state of our housing market.
We are digging into the numbers to see what trends we can find here in Florida as thousands of people continue to move to our Sunshine State.
It is now 6:41 on a Tuesday. I'm Brian Carrick with Mallory Nichols. A cool day overall. Temperatures running 10 to 15 degrees below average, but still had some folks out at the beach. Let's take you to our new Teeth Now camera and a time lapse. We were running a moderate rip current risk, but still had some surfers out there at Flagler Beach today. Notice a few of the clouds scooting on in as well, mixing in with our sunshine. And how about this time lapse from our Universal Hyundai cam in Sanford, kind of helping to show the wind, the breeze that was up. Not as windy as it's been, but it was still a little on the breezy side today, and that wind coming around to the north-northeast behind a weak front dropped by us earlier today. Remember, we discussed this last night. It would come through, wouldn't have any rain, but it would just reinforce the cool, dry air, and that's what we had today, cool, dry air. No showers will work toward the coast, as you see here in our Futurecast, trying to pick up moisture that isn't in place. So very dry up in the mid and upper levels of our atmosphere right now. But during the day on Wednesday, what we're going to see happen, our wind will come a little more out of the east in the afternoon, or east-northeast, and we'll get some mid-level clouds scooting in. From the west, some higher-level clouds will scoot across. So we're going to go with a mix of clouds and sun. At times, we will see that sun disappear behind some clouds, and at times it will be filtered. So overall, a little more cloud cover than sunshine tomorrow, and maybe a coastal sprinkle, but that chance is very low. So clear to partly cloudy. Temperatures tonight in the 40s. We'll have 30s up in Marion County. And actually, I should mention 50s over in Brevard County. Your forecast for the commute, dry with temperatures climbing through the 50s. Should actually top out in the upper 60s, close to 70 tomorrow in most neighborhoods. We'll have a few mid-60s north and west of I-4. There's that mix of clouds and sun. By the way, the average high is 73. Now, the big weather story itself, it is a storm system coming into the western U.S. Rainfall could be dealing with some flooding in parts of California, as well as some heavy mountain snows in the Sierras. And here's a look at your forecast from coast to coast.
Some breaking news we need to get to right now at 6:42. Former President Donald Trump is in danger of not being on the Colorado state ballot in 2024.
Yeah, just a short time ago, the Colorado Supreme Court ruled the former president is not eligible to have his name on the state's ballots. The Colorado Supreme Court cited the 14th Amendment's insurrectionist ban, upholding a trial judge's decision that the former president engaged in the January 6th insurrection.
This ruling is placed on hold pending appeal until January 4th. Now, Colorado officials say a decision needs to be made by January 5th, the statutory deadline to set the list of candidates for the GOP primary.
Now, in a statement, the former president said, in part, quote, "We have full confidence the U.S. Supreme Court will quickly rule in our favor." A developing story here as we keep tabs on the 2024 race for the White House. Ongoing coverage not only here on air but online and with the free Spectrum News app, which you can download for free by scanning the QR code here on your screen.
The Sunshine State experiencing another surge in population. The Census Bureau reporting that Florida topped all states except for the Lone Star State in Texas and population growth over the last year.
So what is the impact for Florida? Here's Spectrum News 13's Karina Capabianca. A new report shows several countries tried to meddle in last year's midterm elections. The intelligence community assessed with high confidence China tried to influence a handful of midterm races involving members of both U.S. political parties. Analysis also says Russia sought to denigrate the Democratic Party before the midterm elections, while it also found Cuba engaged in more narrow efforts to support or undermine specific candidates. All right, time now for your market wrap-up. Wall Street creeping toward their all-time high on the hopes that the Japan's central bank will keep interest rates steady for investors. Let's take a look at the board here. As you can see, Dow, NASDAQ, and the S&P 500 all earning some gains by the end of the trades.
A new show will take to the stage at Disney's Hollywood Studios. The Little Mermaid, a musical adventure, will debut next fall at the Animation Courtyard Theater. This is a look at the artist's rendering of the reimagined show. Disney says there will be new set pieces, effects, and overall design of the show.
All right, here's a look at how businesses with Central Florida ties performed today. Disney had some gains today. So did SeaWorld and Royal Caribbean Cruises.
The annual pace of home building surged last month amid a historic shortage of housing inventory. Housing starts jumped by 14.8% in November compared to the month before, now rising for the third month in a row. This marks the highest the rate of housing starts has been since May, and 9.3% higher than it was this time last year.
I'm Danielle Stein, and this is your Sports Minute, sponsored by Spectrum One.
Command engine start. 2, 1, 0. Ignition.
We have ignition of our BE-3 engine. And liftoff. Mission Control confirms that New Shepard has cleared the tower and is headed to space.
Blue Origin's New Shepard mission blasting off from Texas just before noon. This was a return to flight mission after September's mission mishap, where an engine suffered a structural failure during launch. On board this launch were 33 payloads, 38,000 Club for the Future postcards from students all around the world.
A study takes a closer look at the gases in wildfires.
The health concerns and warnings from scientists as they identify links to cancer.
A chilly day overall with temperatures 10 to 15 degrees below average, but a slow climb will take that temperature back up to seasonable levels just in time for our weekend. People in town probably going, hey, this isn't too bad, although these folks out at New Smyrna Beach this morning were dressed accordingly. Had blankets as well as the stocking caps and some mittens, I'm sure, as well. Donna, thank you for sharing this picture. And let's take you back over the coast in a time lapse from our Cocoa Beach Shepherd Park cam as folks were wandering up and down with some sunshine. We did mix in a few clouds, just kind of indicative of a wind shift here coming in off the northeast and bringing in a few of those mid-level clouds, and that's what we're going to keep around for the next several days. But high pressure building on in. The front we discussed yesterday sweeping by us without fanfare. It is well to our south, and with that high building in, typically you'd see the air sink and scour out the clouds, but the flow itself bringing in a few of those mid-level clouds from the Atlantic, and we'll go with a clear to partly cloudy sky overnight. Okay, temperatures are typically around 73. We'll go upper 60s, close to 70 tomorrow. Low 70s Thursday, Friday. Notice the mid-70s over the weekend. Our next best chance for some scattered showers arriving late in the day on Sunday into Christmas Day.
New research suggests the searing heat from wildfires can actually release chemicals from soil and transform them into a carcinogen. Research initially focused on the impacts of the gases and the particles carried by wildfires.
But this new study, it looks at the effect on naturally occurring metals within soil and plants. High heat from wildfires can change chromium, for example, from its benign version into toxic airborne particles. In your health, Well, it's a time of year for festivities with friends and family. However, the holidays can be a hard time to turn down a drink.
But health experts say you can get through the season without alcohol, and they've got some tips on how to stay sober.
More than 300,000 air fryers are being recalled. Empower Brands is recalling the model of the Power XL dual basket air fryer. Now, according to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, the plastic connector used to connect the two baskets inside the units can break and, as a result, pose a burn hazard. The recalled air fryers were sold at Walmart, Target, and Kohl's between August of 2021 through October of this year.
Mercedes-Benz is the first automaker to get approval to use a new color for its car's lights, and the color is turquoise blue. Now, it's the new color, not just for show. It also indicates when a vehicle is on autopilot. Now, Mercedes says the turquoise lights are to alert passing drivers and police that the vehicle is under fully automated control. So far, the Drive Pilot technology is only legal in California and Nevada and cannot be used outside those two states. Mercedes Drive Pilot system will be available on 2 models in Nevada and California starting in early 2024. Orlando city leaders are now getting to work on their plans for the Pulse Memorial.
The first steps that they're taking and what else we can expect now that the One Pulse Foundation has been dissolved. You're watching your evening news on Spectrum News 13. More news and weather straight ahead.
Now let's take a look at what's happening in our community, brought to you by the expert injury attorneys at Todd Minor Law.